Welcome to Soap. When the female mosquito is attacking the people in the vehicle, from the cops and the paramedics, they leave. Some of the mosquitoes were being sprayed by, because some people carry mosquito repellent with them, and they start spraying at them. And the female mosquitoes, the whole block, maybe? Just say squad of mosquitoes. And as soon as they book it, and they head to the mountains where it's a little cold, they sit. Most of them die from the spray. The lead female, knowing that something's got to be done about the poison, since some of them are dying. And for some reason, she decides the best thing to do is to breed more. So the next summer, she has quite a bit, and she goes to attack. Inside this building, she noticed the door was open, and there was a lot of people. To her, this is perfect. They go in, they attack, they are hitting them, stabbing them, and since they're big mosquitoes, and leaving knife-like wounds, and mostly killing some of them, and some of them just are surviving. But it's not good. The survivors, like the one that was in the ambulance that took out, they're controlling her in the hospital. But her worst symptoms are getting worse. She's starting to get fever, starting to have strokes, epilepsy. Something about her brain is causing epileptic seizures. It started with one stroke. Then her brain started losing function. Her body starts twitching. She starts getting fever, night sweats. She's starting to hurt. She's getting sick, throwing up, nausea, diarrhea. Doctors can't figure out exactly what's wrong. There ain't no disease they could find. And while they're attacking inside this lab, yeah, it was a lab they were attacking. They don't know. She didn't even know this was a lab. She don't even know buildings or people. And attacking one person, they crashed and started spilling all kinds of liquid, slipping on it. Some of them were just throwing what they could on them to get them off of them. From some of them dying from acid, some of them dying from chemical burns, to some just completely being drowned in a, how would I put it, a thick substance like chili or something kind of like mud almost, in thickness and texture. And that's what the liquid was. It was slime-like, but slime-like mud slime. It looked like it. To her, that's what she thought it was. And she doesn't care for mud. But not knowing that what the chemical was not mud. It was for a new research and trying to figure out a new cure. Because there was a epidemic going on where children were getting sick out of nowhere and dying. So they were trying to figure out what it is. After she left, after her good feed and started feeding, and she was quite full and left, everyone left, except for at least 7 to 8 of them that left. There were 20 in the squad, and now there's only 12. She didn't worry about it. She got hit with some liquid. Some of them got hit with liquid. Some of them were fine. But why? Could be hearing things. We're in the mountains, waiting to breed. Not ready yet. There's still some that's still there. She wasn't too happy with the loss, but she isn't too disappointed. During the night, she felt a burning sensation in the back between her wings. Her proboscis, the nose, long nose, it started burning. Although they were big, they, when they moved, they shifted the earth, meaning they moved dirt when they moved. If they walked, they left prints. And in the snow mountains, they left prints all over the place from where they was at. Her hands, or I think, what do they call them, hands? Her hands were starting to feel very fuzzy. It felt strange. They were not only feeling fuzzy, like something about them was buzzing around. It felt like her wings on her back going miles per hour. She fell asleep only to wake up later to the same feeling being worse. She tried to sleep it off, but every time she was waking up by it being worse and worse. Until finally the lights go out. At this point, she considers herself dead. Puts off a pheromone and allows the rest to do what they want. At this point, she wakes up later. It's like a couple of days. Think I'm losing weight again. So, at this point, she wakes up. It's spring. It went from winter to spring. She must have slept through the winter. It's fine. But she's starving. Some of them has already starved out, and some of them has already left to get food and came back. She noticed that there was something different about them. The wings were kind of bright green and blue with red. They're kind of colorful. The proboscis was needle-like. They looked like blood bugs, but more colorful. They were a little bit bigger. Their hands that was buzzing had little needle-like appendages. Not appendages, but needles on them. For when they went in, not only did they have hook-like latches where you grab and you don't let go. Her blood bug, her tail, it had almost like a proboscis, but it was, how do I put this? Sharp. Needle sharp. But they weren't blood bugs. They were vampire bugs. They mutated. When she moved, she felt the skin that she recently had peel off, break. Looking around, she noticed the others had the same. Their skin has peeled off. Now, hungry, she went out to fight, to find the food. She decided to go to the same lab, knowing that there was stuff there that made her look like that. It was the only place she knows that had a lot of food. But then she saw there was a crowd in front of the place, so she attacked them. All of them were chanting something about a disease getting out. Something about a cure. But they attacked anyway. While attacking, there was a lot of screaming. Some of the scientists went indoors and closed the doors away. People got out their pepper spray. She knew that she was going to lose some. But when they got sprayed, it didn't faze them. Matter of fact, it just did nothing. They kept attacking like it was doing nothing to them. So one, we pulled out a can that said mace on it. I don't know what bear spray cans look like. She sprayed her. It felt kind of tingly. It didn't burn. It didn't even hurt. Actually, it tasted okay, but not good enough. A flight or fight response kicked in. Her tail injected into her. She started sucking and drinking and siphoning all that she could. The woman was turning pale and more pale, and she got weak till she hit her knees. There was no need to use her proboscis anymore, unless she wanted to. So she injected it into her neck. When it was over, the woman lied still and cold. There was others that were around that was weakened, staggering about from the others who'd done the same. She unlocked and left, buzzed as fast as she could. Unknowingly, she didn't realize how fast she was. So when she left, she noticed she felt wind zipping by her. She was going at least 30 miles per hour. For the car below her was going about the same speed. She was keeping up with the car that was going 30 miles per hour. And then it was going faster, to 40, to 50, and she was getting ahead of it, staying ahead of it, as fast as she could, and it reached 60 miles per hour. She was still catching up with it, as if it was no problem. And yet she still felt like she can still go faster. But instead she swerved out to the mountains to sleep. She was full, she needed to digest. She also needed to reflect on what was going on. While in the hospital, the woman, the pale woman she was giving blood to, in shock, a wound in her chest. They said they had to do heart surgery because it went straight to the heart, injecting from the artery. I think the aorta artery, maybe. I don't know which valve it is. I'm not a surgeon. I'm a storyteller. But that wasn't the worst part. The previous victim, still failing. Organs slowly falling, failing. They say there might be blood poisoning for somewhat. Because what she was doing was not only injecting her proboscis into them for blood. When she was done, she injected some into her. She done that so she can kill victims. That way she can come back later. She was going to, but the beautician. Later that night, where everyone was sleeping, she got up, went to that lab, looked around, saw that same liquid that made her what she is. She knocked it off the table, got on the floor, stuck her tail to the floor, and started siphoning the liquid. Thinking that these vials she couldn't fit her tail into, It's better than fall off the table. She went to the mountains and felt the same familiar feeling she did before her previous mutation. But this time she turned into a cocoon. They thought maybe she died in there from all of that mutation. They kind of thought that it was gone. Not only had it been 2 months and they went on bed without her, it's been 3 months. And she breaks free out of it. All they could notice was how big she was. The vampire bug. She's the vampire queen bug. Check back and I'll tell you what she looked like. And what she did next is beyond mosquito behavior, but is what a predator would do. Because of her intelligence increased, she gained predator instinct and learned a new technique for siphoning blood and a smarter way to get prey. Stay tuned.